Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of ESC Fan TV. And tonight we're going to be looking at the Norwegian semi-finalists for the second semi-final that is being held in Norway, in Oslo, on Saturday. Now, obviously, in order to look at these fantastic semi-finalists, we need a panel and we're going to meet them in a moment. But in the meantime, let's get the business out of the way. You see those buttons just down there somewhere? The like button, the subscribe buttons. Don't forget to click them. Like and subscribe on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Yes, we get everywhere. We are even on Snitch these days. Also, don't forget as well, put your comments in the comments section because we love to hear from you. And if you've got any questions for the panel as well, don't forget to ask them as well. Now, speaking of the panel, I think it's probably about time we met them. So let's say good evening to the panel. Hi, panel.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay,
Hello.
let's go round the panel then. Okay, looking, let's see, that way, looking that way. There we go. We have Nicholas. Good evening, Nicholas.
Good evening. Looking forward to another great show about Norway.
And also on the panel, good evening to Joe.
Norway again. Hi, everyone.
A big hello to Gustav.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be back.
I was going to say it's lovely to see you. And also from Eurovision Norway, we have joining us is Morten.
Hi guys, I'm looking forward to this evening talking about my country, Norway.
Hey, and it's lovely to see you as well. Now, Morten, first things first, let's get this out of the way, because obviously you were in the arena on Saturday night. What was the atmosphere like for the first semi-final?
It was bloody brilliant. At least Lisa's fans, they were like 5 times more than any other fans. So they were like shouting and screaming like every single time there was a break. So I know that Lisa had a lot of fans, but seeing the atmosphere when everyone was performing was incredible. It was a brilliant experience, and I just can't imagine when it just gets 7, 8, 9, 10 times bigger in Trondheim in the final. It's going to be incredible.
We did say that Raylee was expected to win. What was it like to actually see her get through to the final in the arena?
I was so nervous when she was performing at the semi-final against I think it was Kim. Yeah, Kim. Like when Raylee was performing during the rehearsals, I like had goosebumps all over because I was like, okay, she's gonna win this semi-final, and thankfully I was right.
And I have to say, I mean, as watching it, I thought they put on an absolutely fantastic show. Sets the standard quite high, I think, certainly for this week, next weekend, many coming weeks as well. And the one thing I was pleased about, totally a side point, is that I was able to go to the NRK website, and it turns out that I too can hit the little heart buttons and things as well that come up on the screen. And if any of you were tuning into the NRK website, if you're not in Norway, then you would have seen this little heart like emoji type thing advertised. And if you go onto the NRK website, it turns out you can actually register. And during the songs, you can kind of tap away. I am so easily amused. I think that's basically what we can take from that. Very easily amused. Now, we have got 4 semi-finalists to get through. And the first one I wanted to look at today is Jaeger. Now, she's going to be competing with the song How About Mars. She took part in The Voice 2017 and was mentored by Morten Harket, who has another fantastic Eurovision connection because obviously he co-hosted the contest when it was held in Norway in 1996. It's an American, it's an electro-pop type vibe, maybe. Let's take a listen and see what the panel think.
Come on now, let me take control. You're way too slow. How far are you prepared to go? Come on now, let take control. You're way too slow. How far are you prepared to go? How about more? How about more? How about more? How about more?
So, panel, how about Mars? Do you know what? I'm going to go straight to Morten on this one. Anna Jaeger, I mean, I've looked at some of the polls. She seems to be second in some of the polls that I've looked at. What do you think of the actual song?
First of all, a little fun fact: she was last at the predictions, but now, after she was performing it on stage today for the first time, she's now up to first place to win on Saturday. So I'm really excited to see the stage show. The first time I heard it, I was like, "What is this?" Absolutely absurd. But the more and more I listen to it, the more and more I like it. Just like Portugal last year, like a very absurd song, but it gets better and better every time you listen to it. You just have to get to know the song and try to get used to it. But I fear that it will, like, so many people will hear it for the first time on Saturday and think like, this is not good, I'm not going to vote for this. But the people who has heard it like 10, 20, 30 times will vote for it because they are used to it. So it's gonna be, I really don't know if I like it or not.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Have you seen or heard reports of the stage performance? Does it bear any relation to the video? Because I have to say, I looked at the music video for it and I was like, oh, I wasn't entirely sure what was going on. To be honest.
I'm not quite sure what the stage show is going to be. I just know that it will have a screen in background like Raylee had. You can actually see the stage on her Instagram that she posted today on how the staging will be. But I don't know if the creepy dancers are going to be joined in, or we'll just have to wait and see.
I have to say, part of me is like, yeah, come on, let's get the creepy dancers in. Let's go over to Nicholas. How about Mars?
I say yes. See, I'm so interested in this song, and I've been from the very beginning, because we talked about last time that there was a lot of songs, at least from the first four we heard, that sounded like the kind of songs that we're very used to in like Melodi Grand Prix in Norway. This is different, and this is, in my opinion, really cool. If it was me picking, I felt like, this would win by a landslide. I feel like this is the most interesting of these. It's the first of the songs from Norway that I've put on my like Spotify playlist that I regularly listen to, because this is really something interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it even more now that I've heard that the staging might actually be quite good, because it was going to be that one thing I was going to bring up, that if they mess up the staging, this will be bad. But no, I think in this field of, and I'm sure we're going to get back to what I think about the other three songs, but I feel like, with this rather bland semifinal, in my opinion, this really stands out. And I feel like it doesn't even stand out for the wrong reason. It stands out because it's interesting, it's fun, and if she can pull it off vocally live, this could be my MGP winner this year. I'm really liking it, at least.
Hey, some high praise indeed. Let's go to Norway's neighbours. Gustav, what do we think?
Yes, I love this song. This is my favorite song. It's so good, and I can't sit still when I'm listening to it. You should have seen me when you played the video. I was like,
To be fair, I did. I was watching you on the control panel. It's like...
Anyway, it reminds me kind of Billie Eilish. So it feels modern and it feels now. And this is the only song I can see in Eurovision-ish. I can see one more song, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It has got that unique vibe to it. I think
Yeah.
you could. I draw some comparisons in style, I think there can be made with Kino in that it's that different kind of style, if that makes sense. There's an element of familiarity about it, but there's also that little bit extra, that bit of diversion that I think takes it off in a different direction, which I think works quite well. Joe, your take on it?
Yeah, I'm very listenable. You guys are sort of putting sort of loads of comparisons out there, and the one that I thought of was Lena. Remember, Taken by a Stranger, and there was something there. I think it's because of the UFO sort of Mars and everything connection somewhere. But my first thought was, oh, we got a modern day Lena suddenly on our hands. And yeah, I mean, I like this one. It's not my favourite, but I love every single song in this semi-final. And she's different, and she's the one out of four that are really different. Certainly, you know, as it goes, I mean, it is poppy. So what I would worry about is if she got through, what would happen in the final 10? Would she then not be as much of a standout as she is in this semi-final? And in which case I can't then see her getting through and winning. But certainly at the moment, the four that we've got to pick from, she's the different one. So good luck to her, definitely.
High praise indeed. Now, a big hello to people that are actually watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch as well. Massive hello to Annie, to Stuart, to Karin's, and to Heidi as well. And I think also Karin's comment, I think, is the one that echoes, I think, with what the panel said most. I personally think How About Mars is so unique and interesting, and for all the week it's most listened from the four songs, which I think could bode well potentially for the song. But let's not pack all our stuff up and go home having decided the winner based on one song. Let's look at some more, shall we? The second song we're going to look at is Kim Weigard and Maria Mon, Fool for Love. I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't been able to find a lot out about these two. I don't know, Morten, if you could give me any insight at all into them.
Well, both of them has been in, I think it's Idol. At least Kim has. I don't know so much about them because they're not so well known in Norway. I just know that Kim is also a vocal teacher for a lot of famous Norwegian singers. So he knows how to sing live. And I've listened to one song, not Fool for Love, but another song that Maria and Kim has sung together. And they sound amazing live. So I know that they will be really, really solid vocally.
Which does bode well. Now, the other thing I've thought about with this song is that like last week, we suggested that Guillermin's song could be a potential James Bond number. I think this does have a potential James Bond-esque vibe to it. But do you know what? Let's let you guys make your own minds up, and let's have a listen before we get the panel's views.
What can I do? I just want to stay with you. Wonder how I'll ever make it through, knowing that my dreams will not come true. Without you, I'm a fool for love.
A big musical number there. Do you know what? I'm going to go straight to Joe because I know Joe has quite a soft spot for this one.
Love it. Absolutely love this song. This is my favourite at four. I mean, Maria's voice is absolutely on. Yeah, she's amazing. In fact, they both are. Let's face it. Yeah, the first time I ever heard it, I thought in my head when I hear a song, sometimes I think of, okay, where would this be placed? And yeah, straight away on a stage. Great musical. I think if the staging's right, we're going to all sort of be transported to the West End or you know, whatever the Norwegian equivalent of the West End is. and just literally just get blown away by those vocals. Amazing. Yeah, definitely my number one out of the four.
Okay, and Gustav, is this something that's near the top of your rankings this week?
You know it is. You know I'm a sucker for a good ballad, and so it's right up my alley. With that said, I don't want to send it to Eurovision because I'm not sure it would do good in Eurovision, but it's a really, really good song.
It is, and do you know what? There's something about the crescendos in their voice, the way their two voices work together. I think could be quite interesting on stage. And I'll tell you what I was thinking of during comparisons. Everyone loves a good comparison. Unfortunately, I think 3 members of the panel may not remember 2002 Romania, which the song title has just gone out of my head as well. Da, 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 da. Oh, someone help me out here. But I want to say "Let Me Try," but it's not. No, tell me why. That's it. Tell me why.
It sounded similar.
I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So, yes, it has that kind of really dramatic feel that "Tell Me Why" kind of had. I mean, let's think about this in terms of staging and things like this. What's the type of vibe you're getting off of this one, Nicholas?
See, I think this is because I'm just gonna say it right away. This isn't one of my favorites. This is, I think, out of the 4, I think this is one I like the least. But I think that's mainly because of the fact that we've only heard it in a studio version. I don't think necessarily this is the kind of song that you should listen to on Spotify. I think this is the kind of song, and we've seen it plenty of times with songs like this, where it'll liven up on stage. Because this is very much like a vocal performance. And I think if they have the right chemistry and if they can pull this off, I think this will be a moment. It'll be a very beautiful moment. And it could very easily be the thing that kind of stands out on the night, because it just like, it can take your breath away. If done right, it can also be done wrong. If they have no chemistry together, this won't work. So I am happy to hear that they have at least worked together before, because that could mean that, you know, we are in for something interesting here. It's not one. No, I wouldn't want this to qualify, and I wouldn't send this to Eurovision. But I'm interested to see if they can pull it off live.
Now, Morten, an interesting conundrum, shall we say, for you. If this is to progress to the final on Saturday night, not as in the final in Trondheim, but as in the final 2 on Saturday, what type of song do you think it needs to go up against? Does it have a realistic chance? Could it do it? Or is it snookered whichever way they turn?
I'm not quite sure. Like, if the staging is done right, this is gonna win, in my opinion. But if it's done wrong, it is not gonna even go to the golden final. But I know that they know how to sing live. I know that they will be having a great stage performance. I know that they have great chemistry. So I know that this is a goosebump alarm song. Like, everyone is gonna get goosebumps from this live.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many, like, there are 3 other songs that also can be a contender. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think it's going to go to the golden final, yes.
Interesting. Very high praise. And in the chat room as well, Tom Brodell Martinson, Fall for Love is the best in this semi. Karen's Full of Love is a traditional good old love ballad, but it's enjoyable. Not sure it will do well. Maria is wow, but the song is a bland ballad. Do you know what? I'm not entirely sure I'd agree with you, but I love the diversity of opinions we get. Anyway, and Annie, great voices of Maria and Kim, very dramatic. And a big hello as well to David Ray, who is also watching live on YouTube as well. And whilst we're halfway through, don't forget, gonna say it again, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. So let's move on let's swing our way. There's a hint to the panel about where we're headed next. Let's swing our way into our third song of the evening. Yes, I'm talking about Tor Pettersson's The Start of Something New. Not to be confused by the High School Musical song of the same name. I had to get it in somewhere. This is a swing number, and from a very big personality. Judge on Shall We Dance since 2016, and also from my research, he travels the country as well, delivering a anti-bullying program or lecture to people, saying it's a gift to be different. Is the title of the lecture that he gives, which is quite good. He's got the song The Start of Something New. It's a jazz. Get yourselves ready. Get those old jazz shoes on. Let's take a listen.
Took a while before you dared to ask me out, but now that you did, I'm so happy I could shout. This would be the start of something new. So you took me out and you showed me your world. You made me like you even more than I should. This could be the start of something new. Yeah.
Give a big hand for the big band. Nicholas, the start of something new. Is this the start of something new for Norway?
I'm glad that you basically said the exact same thing that I'd written as the little bit down here. So
the telepathic link is there.
Definitely. Now, I don't think this is gonna go through. I think this is maybe too much of a niche genre to really appeal to the broader audience of Norway. That being said, I think one of the interesting things with having these semifinals this year is that we get to explore a bunch of different genres, this being one of them. I think it's cool. This, like, it, you know, and you mentioned that he was a judge on like the dancing show and all. This very much sounds like the kind of song that could be on one of those like dancing competition shows, and that was the first thing I thought of when I heard this. It's gonna be interesting to see if they can stage this right. I know that's kind of been like the topic of this week's show. It almost seems it's gonna be interesting to see how they stage it. Not one of my favorites, I will say.
Okay, and Gustav,
Yes.
you know, I know you're a sucker for a big ballad and things like that, but is there part of you that, you know, likes the old jazz music?
You know what? There is.
Hey.
Yes. I love this song. I love like jazzy, loungy music, so this is right up my alley. This is the song I've listened the most to, actually, and like danced around my living room with my puppy.
We would all like to see that. Like,
yes. So
you put a video on the ESC Fan TV page.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just, for me, it's so good. It's like hitting all of my personal boxes, and I love that he's singing about another guy. It's just, yeah, everything is right for me. It's so good.
And I think one of the things I think this ticks for me is the musical diversity box, because I think this is the type of song you possibly wouldn't necessarily have got to have seen if there was just 10 songs in a final, as we've had in previous years. I mean, Morten, do you reckon this is almost a statement of intent for the next 3 semi-finals, that we can expect some real, you know, diverse musical styles?
Yeah, I think because we have 25 songs this year instead of 10, I think there will be a lot more diversity in all the songs. So we haven't heard any rock yet. We haven't heard any opera. I don't know. But there will be different genres. I'm sure there are still 15, 11, 12, 13. I don't know how many songs we haven't listened to. There are so many songs we haven't listened to yet. And I'm really excited. And actually, this song, The Start of Something New, is my favorite this semi-final, because not am I only a Eurovision and MGP fan, I am also a music fan. So I love like hearing a lot of different genres and songs and celebrities singing even though they're not famous for their singing, and that's why I love Eurovision as well. When I heard that Torre was gonna be in MGP, I was like, oh my goodness, this can't be good, because I don't like his voice, but it weirdly fits with the song, and it just like you said, I could dance all night in my living room if I had a puppy. But it's not gonna qualify. I already know that, but it would hit my heart, and I would absolutely love it if it would. But I think there are minimal chances of that.
And moving on to Joe, I mean, surely this sums up what it should all be about, because surely this is all about fun. And I mean, certainly if the video is anything to go by, you know, Tora is definitely having lots of fun in that.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he? You can tell that there's something about him that, you know, for someone who doesn't know him and doesn't know he's effectively a TV presenter, you could just tell straight away on that video, and the way he sings, sort of the tone of his voice. He's definitely an entertainer. Definitely something I would dance to with a puppy around as well. That, you know, I wish I had one. I love it. As I said, I love every single song in this summit, and it's just a shame that he's not up against worse competitors so that he could get through. But yeah, I do. He's having a lot of fun. I would like to see him on Saturday and see, you know, how he comes across, and the exuberance, and the you know, the Mr. Showman, the Mr. Entertainer, and I think he could win quite a lot of votes just by being himself.
Interesting point there. Just to draw us back onto the whole puppy dancing, Annie, my puppy was dancing to Wild last Saturday. Maybe they have good instincts for the competition. So it's certainly something to bear in mind. Also, Karin's start of something new, not my cup of coffee, but I know there will be people who like it. Hang on one second. Well, Bobby Sox made it swing in 1985. Torre is a celebrity. That's his only chance of this song. That's from Tom. And David Ray. I love this entry, but have doubts if Norwegian fans would love it. Let's move on to Rain Alexander and take a listen before we find out what the panel think.
Take my hand and tell me now you never let go. So one last time we give it all. We chained our hearts, we're unbreakable. One last time we go to war. We got no fears, we can conquer all. One last time.
I found myself on mute. That's Rain Alexander. He's representing with One Last Time. He's actually won the Huge Chance, the same competition that Alexander Rybak won in 2006. He's also a famous musical theatre star, having played roles such as Jean Valjean, Les Miserables, Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, and Anatoly in Chess. It's a massive number with a dance vibe. Let's go straight to Gustav. What are you thinking?
I'm going to be honest. With the first time I heard this song, I heard like the first 20 seconds, heard his voice, and was like, nope, and turn it off. Then I didn't listen to it until I was like, I'm going on this show, so I really have to actually listen to it. So I did. And I like it. It's a bit schlagery, yet modern, and still folky. It's kind of perfect for Eurovision, if I'm honest.
It has got a really good vibe to it, hasn't it? Nicholas, what's your take on it?
It's interesting that Gustav says that this is the kind of thing for Eurovision, because I've been thinking a lot about this evening how I was gonna present my opinion on this song, because I feel like everyone who's ever heard me talk about songs like Spirit in the Sky or Higher Ground or any of these songs will probably have an idea of what I'm about to say. So I'm gonna keep it nice for once. this is the kind of song that I feel like appeals to the average Eurofan. And it's just the kind of song that upon the first listen, you're like, yeah, I know what kind of people will love this song. I haven't been following that much along this week. I've had exams to work on, so I haven't really been following what like the general fandom says about this song. But my take on this is that while this is not the kind of song I prefer, while I think it's unoriginal, it's the kind of song we've heard a million times before, and I feel like, you know, especially after we've seen songs like Spirit in the Sky or Higher Ground doing so well, you know, the Nordic countries is just like, okay, so we're just gonna send this kind of same song every single year. I think it's a shame, but while that's the case, I think this is the one that'll go through, just because it is so unapologetically Eurovision that the fandom just cannot help but love it for some reason.
Do you know what? I'm gonna have to go to Joe with that one. Is it unapologetically Eurovision? Is this the entry they should be sending on Saturday to the final?
Yeah, I think there is a hint of it that it is Eurovision. I mean, yes, I get it totally. You know, the Rasmussen kind of vibes and everything. I think it's a little bit different in some respects, and it's a great song. He's a fabulous singer, and I know he's sort of the fan favorite. I believe he's the fan favorite. I personally don't think it should be the one that they should send. I certainly think it should still be Kim and Maria, for the simple reason that they are different and they would really appeal to more of the sort of the general voting public and the jury, I think, as well. So if it was going to Eurovision, I think it would do really well in the jury, which of course sort of let Kino down last year by not having that sort of appeal. But definitely, you know, he's great. I mean, he's a fabulous singer, there's no doubt about it, and it's very listenable. And I could see, you know, depending on how the duels go, it could be the two against each other for the win. So on Saturday, but we'll see.
It could be a very, very close run thing. Let's just go to Morten. One last time. I mean, it's been mooted all week. I think I've seen it at the top of the list as being the one to beat. Is it really the one to beat?
I think it is the one to beat, but I absolutely do not want it to be the one to beat.
Finally, someone who agrees with me.
Like, I'm going to
too
be
early
honest.
in the season for talk like that.
Sorry.
I'm going to be honest. When I rated all the songs for Eurovision Norway, I gave it a 2 out of 10. Like, there's nothing in the song that I like. The only reason I gave it 2 and not 1 or 0 is because it is Rain Alexander, and he's a really good opera singer and knows how to sing and knows how to perform. But like, there's nothing in the song that really gets me moving or wants me to listen to more times, because it's just so boring. Like, the text, like the rhymes are so bad. Like, I could have wrote it, and I don't know how to write a song. So
did Alexander Rybak.
Yeah,
Look how
that's not how you write a song. 2021 Alexander Rybak.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't like anything about this song.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see how sort of like the views of some of the opinion polls kind of differ with those that we're seeing on the panel and those that we're seeing later in the week as well. I think this has been certainly more open than last week, I think, in terms of the way people have viewed the songs. And I think in some ways, I think that's because I think there's a bit more diversity actually this week in terms of the musical styles. But we've got some comments there. Karen's One Last Time is one of my favourites. Annie Jarrett, not my favourite. Pardon me. But let's go round to the panel. Nicholas, who's going to win on Saturday?
So I think it's going to be, like I said, I think it's going to be One Last Time, but I would love for it to be How About Mars, because I feel like the final just wouldn't be complete without it.
Hey, and let's move across to Morten. Who's going to win?
Such a hard question this week as well. I actually think Fool for Love is going to win. Even though they're not the highest on the rankings, I think they're going to win because they have the best live vocals and the best chemistry and the best, I hope, stage performance. So when they are going to sing it live, it's going to be much better than on Spotify.
Interesting. So, so far, 2 different songs, 2 different votes. This is not the clean sweep we had last week. Gustav, who's going to win?
Did you hear me?
No, I think we had a little bit of a problem. Just say it again.
A little bit.
Oh, I'm just going to go all in for How About Mars.
Okay. 2 votes for How About Mars. And Joe?
Yeah, you know I'm going to level it up, don't you?
You're going for Fall for Love, aren't you?
Fall for Love, absolutely, 100%. I think they have, chemistry, the way that they sing, and I do agree with Morten. I think their low vocal is going to wipe everyone else at the water.
And you know what? I agree with you as well. Making it 3 votes to 2. A clear winner. Gustav, we know you really wanted to vote start of something new.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, that's true.
There we go. By 3 votes to 2, the ESC Fan TV panel reckons that it's going to be Fall for Love that gets through on Saturday night. Karen's also reckons that they want Hello from Mars to go through rather than One Last Time. Interesting. And also Annie Jowett had a vote for One Last Time as well. Let's not forget that as well. Now, speaking of what's going on Saturday, obviously, we're back here on Saturday night for another show of fun and japery as we review semi-final 2 of the Norwegian Melodi Grand Prix. Now, you may be thinking, that means there's no ESC Fan TV until Saturday. But you're wrong. My co-host Stuart will be here tomorrow night reviewing all the entries from this year's Festival de Canco from Portugal, which should be, given the fact there are many, many songs from which I haven't actually listened to any yet. But do you know what? I don't need to, because I'm going to watch Friday's show. And you may be thinking, but I might forget. And that's why you should click the like and subscribe buttons, because they will give you notifications as soon as we go live. Now, all that's left for me to do is say a big thank you to my panel tonight. Thanks to Nicholas.
Thank you, and good night.
Thanks to Joe.
Good night, everyone. See you Saturday.
Thanks to Gustav.
Thank you, everyone. I will see you soon.
And obviously, a big thanks to Morten from Eurovision Norway.
Thank you, guys.
And don't forget, also, not only clicking that like and subscribe at ESC Fan TV, go and do the same for Eurovision Norway as well. Share the love. They produce some fantastic content as well. So, ESC Fan TV, back looking at Portugal tomorrow, back reviewing Norway on Saturday. Eurovision National Final season, it's in full swing. And we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.